No, I think this is the turn for 3 steps ahead. So we copy the Mindsplice Apparatus. We pay only 2 mana, cause why not? And we get full value, and our opponent doesn't have counter spells. We cannot prevent the ultimate from Liliana, so I think this is the best play. Man, if we win this, we can win literally every game. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we have something truly special. If you want to feel the ultimate control power, this is the deck for you, because the Mindsplice Apparatus Azores goes so hard. We have life gain, we can remove artifacts, enchantments, and basically everything we ever dream of. We can life gain and sweep the board and make lethals extremely quick, and of course draw infinite cards with Silver Scrutiny, while also digging for the perfect answer for 1 mana impulse with, the discount, and some negates just to spice things up. The deck is extremely fun to play, it's super powerful, and the games today are top tier, especially if you struggle with artifacts. I think we'll show you a masterclass of how to disarm this deck. So yeah, let's go into the games. I really hope you will enjoy and have some fun. Alright guys, going first. We have a lockdown, we have some counter spells, however, we need to get into them. I will probably cast Impulse just to make sure that I can cast my spells. Show me the mountain, we know what you are doing. Alright, hello. Alright, so do I want to cast Impulse here? There's no way he will counter it, right? There's no way, but if he does, I will lose the game. Alright, that's not the play you ever make, but this is the play I have to make here. I will take the Painlands. In control matchups you don't care about your life total, so Painlands are basically like dual lands. Kinda. Alright. I mean, we are doing good. It will be a bit of a feat to, sneak the Mindsplice Apparatus into the game, but we have some potential here. Of course, we don't waste our 3 steps ahead. Extremely amazing card. Alright, I need him to tap out at some point. It won't be easy. If he is a good control player, and I have a feeling he is, like, we cannot cast Apparatus into open mana. Oh my god, thank you. This is so good. Alright, that is huge. This is actually huge. Alright, and we are starting to stack some value. So, I could go for the lockdown, but I don't think so. Like, we don't need to do anything here. We can keep countering his spells. And then Season of the Burrow is one of the reasons is this deck, because you can get rid of a lot of stuff here. Do I want to draw cards? I don't need more mana, I need more cards. No targets for Demolition Field yet. Silver Scrutiny. Oh yes, that's what I want to see. Alright, this is super important. I actually need all of those cards. Like, literally all of them. I could cast Lockdown to prevent some of his mana. As you can see, he wouldn't be able to cast the Mightstone and the Weakstone. Nope. From hello to your go in 4 turns. You can see that he knows that he's behind. And yeah, I think we can get rid of 1 Lockdown, because we should redraw into the other one. 2 damage, sure. Like, we have options, but we still have a long way to go here. A long way to go. Nothing super scary here. So I could go for the Twilight already, but we want to make sure that his best cards will get countered. No target. I could try to get, this to single colored mana, but I don't think it's worth it. That's okay. That is okay. I honestly think we might go for Silver Scrutiny. It's not too many cards, but I think we have enough so we can, just go a little bit crazy. My idea is that we will cast Twilight when our opponent has like all those constructs and stuff, but we probably won't get Synthesizer into the game. Only 3 cards, so not the best value, but we have 4 of them, and impulses, so we should be absolutely, drawing into the next one. We're also keeping counter spells at every point. Is that no more lies? See? Easy. And we got more value, which is great. And every turn we are further and further ahead, just thanks to the Mindsplice Apparatus. We kinda need to protect it. Is our opponent going to rope us? Alright, thankfully not. Oh, this is such a nice card. So basically, I could Sunfall this. It's not the best play. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. Our opponent, I think his strategy is to chip enough damage so it forces reaction. Alright, this is the first one. Well, this is a great moment to go for Twilight. I actually will allow it. I don't think this is a big deal. Like, I actually want him to cast, you know, many spells so he gets the constructs, because the board doesn't matter and he doesn't know about it. And if he counters, we also have a counter spell. Sure, 4 damage. Those spiders won't matter, like we have enough unions to mitigate all of the damage. See? And now he's casting more into the board, which is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And I'm not sure if he has a sweeper, because he thinks that he is ahead. Let's do it now. I still want to get rid of the Anchorage. To be honest, it's probably not the play we should be making, but I think it's okay. They can have this Fomori Vault thing, which will be way more threatening, but they don't have it now, so I'm going a bit for a tempo play here. And we'll take white mana, right? Painlands kinda a little bit matter. And let's take the white mana. Then we go Union. And don't forget we have extremely cheap spells. And let's go for the Apparatus. This is actually really good here. We will get way more power. Like, it instantly buffs our Twilight by 1 already. Do I go for the Twilight already? Do we have enough? I don't think this is the play yet. Let's go just for the Sunfall. Very cheap, very efficient, while also keeping some, you know, extra lands. Anchorage is not needed. I could borrow this. Do we have a permanent? Probably not. Well, me and the permanents. I guess Demolition Field, right? Yeah, it can be a land, but I don't think we need it. Yeah, we are going for the Twilight probably on the next turn. So I will just keep my counter spells. So okay, so the plan is that we have 3 steps ahead against anything that is, you know, above what we can handle. I'm not sure if we activate the token, probably not. With double Mindsplice Apparatus we can cast this for 2 mana and get like 7 new cards very easily. Sure. You need to remember that you don't really need to kill them. They only those simulacrums only work if he has cards that trigger it. So if they don't have the cards, this does nothing. And those constructs do not have haste, so they don't really matter. Alright. So we are sweeping the board on the next turn, and we are not using Silver Scrutiny. Not yet, at least. Alright, so how much mana do we need? It's actually important that we count it now. I guess I could take 1 more hit, right? To force them to play even more stuff. We can use this as a blocker and potentially get lost. You know what? I think we can go with this. I know it's a bit weird, but I like my indestructible Anchorage. And we should have enough blockers, so what our opponent will do doesn't matter. So why I'm doing this play? I really want him to commit more, because I only have 1 Twilight, and I want to, you know, make sure that we get good value from this. Man, this is crazy. This is indestructible Anchorage that grows every turn. This is so cool. It's also infinite blocker, right? Because we can block 11/11 with this and it doesn't matter at all. Also for free because of the power stones. So I hope he will commit more to the board. 2 extra cards. Alright. I don't think this is something we want to counter. Yep. So we are Twilighting on the next turn. And don't forget, every turn, our plays are stronger because of the counters. Sure. 1 and 2. Seems fine. 24, we don't care. Alright. I think our here's the vault. I think that our opponent thinks that he's in a good spot. 1 discover, because we can borrow this. No, I think this is the turn for 3 steps ahead. This should cost very little, right? So we copy the Mindsplice Apparatus. We pay only 2 mana, cause why not? And we get full value, and our opponent doesn't have counter spells, or he cannot cast them. So that's really cool. And this is our turn. Let's cast Impulse to make sure that we get... I think I would go for another Twilight. Well, Demolition Field might be nice against Fomori. Because this card will give them a lot of top decks, so we don't really want to. And with triple Mindsplice Apparatus, and now you can see the threat. Let's play a land. We still want it. You know what? I actually want counter spells. So we will go for 9-10 cards. I mean, why not? Why not? I want to make sure that I will draw my counter spells, so he will never be able to do anything about this whole thing. Now we go Twilight. Because if he has a sweeper, we will just counter it now. And we go 6, 9, 10. So this is 2 mana. This is 2 mana, man. Let's go 2 more. 1 more, because I think we need triple blue, and we'll actually go for Demolition Field tap. Yep, that's the correct one. And see, we have 11 creatures and full hand of you know, counterplay. And I will keep the token. We don't care about the damage. 6 cards, all the lands, we don't need them. Lockdown is actually pretty nice here. Oh man, this is so hard. Let's get rid of the lockdown, I guess. Do I need more cards? Yes, I do. And 1 season, I think. Alright, we need the perfect hand because we are winning on the next turn. We just need to, you know, have a way to force it. At the beginning, transform, what do you do? Is it tapped? It's just transformed. I think we should be able to kill all of them, right? Yeah, I think this is not something we counter. Don't forget this is his last turn. And we can even copy the Mites of the End step. So he's blocking only 3 cards, but we can go around all of them. Alright, cool. So we get rid of 1 of them, and we will keep all the counter spells for whatever he will try to go for. And this is exactly 10 poison. So he needs to start reacting now. Yep. And as you can see, you don't even need to counter synthesizers. With a control deck, you can just keep sweeping them forever, especially with a build like this that goes basically infinite. Alright, we are going first. This won't be an easy one because we don't have removal, but if we can survive to set up our apparatus, don't forget we'll probably draw like at least 1 removal during next 4 turns. So maybe we can be fine. It depends how aggressive our opponent will be. See, here's our removal. I would love to not use it yet, but we might be forced to. So everything that deals damage goes through. Oh, that's perfect. So this is so cool, man. So our opponent thinks that we are fighting for the value. What he doesn't realize is that we are always winning on the value and he has no chance. And all he can do is fight for the tempo before we get to the real value. But our opponent doesn't know that we are playing a Mindsplice Apparatus version. He thinks he's playing just a normal against a normal version. I think we'll give him this one. Wait. He's at 19, right? So he will actually make a token, right? Yeah, he doesn't have, so we cannot pain ourselves. That's huge. I will use this just to get the second blue mana. And sure. Yeah, I don't need Demolition Field here, but I need second blue mana for all my future shenanigans. Right, he will take black, yep, because of things like Shelly and, you know, stuff like this. Alright, so this is the one attack that he is getting. The only counterplay that might mess our game plan is Tear Asunder. If he goes Shelly, I think we should be fine. The token is absolutely meaningless, and that's crazy, man. This attack was the big deal for him because that's where his value is, you know, starts to ramp. But he got the wrong value. Sure. Oh, this is Tear Asunder mana. Please cast something, please. Oh boy, I need to play into it. If they have Tear Asunder, I think they might win. If they don't, they will lose. Alright. Man, this was the longest 3 seconds of my whole life. So, do we really care here? No. We are just chilling here. This is for 6 damage. 6 damage. We are not ready. This doesn't get discount, so it's actually super expensive for us. Yep. And with unions we should be absolutely fine. He is getting value, that's fine, but you know, when we get to our Silver Scrutiny, a lot of lands, and every card discounted to its pure, you know, color cost, and there won't be much our opponent can do. Arena. Definitely a great counter spell target, right? We want Soul Partition for something else. So, this is already 2 mana. We could go for second Mindsplice Apparatus. Very greedy. Very greedy, but I think we can make it. Just please don't tear asunder it. Please don't. Don't you dare. Alright, resolved. Super important. 2 mana is not enough to cast anything, especially with the lockdown. And now they need to answer both apparatus, and I don't think they can. So from now on we should start ramping like super crazy. See, we can already sweep the whole board if we want. We could do it. I'm not sure if we do. It might be a bit too early. Maybe I just Soul Partition this because this is the only problem. Yeah, I like this play a lot. And then we start drawing cards. And I could lockdown, but I don't care about the damage. Those creatures do not matter. The only one that matters is the Preacher. Soul Partition. If they want to recast it, it's 5 mana. And then they are fully tapped, then we go Twilight, and they are in a huge pickle. 4 damage is fine, especially that this life gain. So we basically gain 2 life a turn, so when they attack for 4, it's 2 damage in reality, when we finally cast the Twilight at some point. I wonder if they will go for it. Glissa, this was exactly something I was considering. She is a 3-drop. We need to be aware of a Shelly, but I think we'll just go Season then. So we counter and we draw cards, because I need some Silver Scrutinies here. I should copy. No, I didn't have enough mana. Alright, great, great, great. I thought I you know, butchered the play. I don't think we need Demolition Field right now. We will go for the Union. And we want every point on mana, of mana on the next turn, so we will cast it now. At the cost of 1 less life gain. And you can see that we are starting to pop off, you know, with some crazy Anchorage. Alright, do we have permanents? We have Demolition Fields, but I don't think we need more mana. Well, definitely not with draws like this. Oh, the lockdown hits this one. Alright, I think... Right, I'm faking priority because I don't want to show that this... Oh, right, I have the Anchorage. So yeah, sure, 4 damage. Absolutely fine, my friend. They need to add to this board, and every... So when I hit Scrutiny, the game ends. Absolutely amazing. And we still have removal for Shrouded, so that's great. And every time we are getting 2 extra power on the Twilight. So at this point they have to have a sweeper in their deck. If they don't play sweepers, they lose the game. And I think we go full power on this one, so 5. 10 and 2. I could go one less. I'm at 8. Is there anything that kills us? Alright, let's go one less, just for get lost. So we go 3, 5, and 7. That means 11, right? Alright, we did it. Took a while. And yeah, our opponent cannot really do anything about it. And we still have get lost against... so I was thinking something along like shard it into Deathrock or something. Oh, I forgot I'm getting all the live gain. Right, I forgot they cannot kill us. Alright, so now they need to play a sweeper. Because the blockers just won't do it. Like with 11 you can go like 11, 10, 9, 8. Like there's so much that's going through, even like multiple blockers. So even if they have like Glissa into the Dread Knight into Shelly, it's just what, still 8, we get it to 9, and with a Season of Burrow we just sweep the board and go for 11. So they need a sweeper right now. The only way they are winning the game is sweeper, and that we never draw Silver Scrutiny. And as you can see, they went for the value, but they just cannot match this deck. Alright, we're going first, and I'll tell you man, Impulse looking pretty good here. We will pain ourselves, but we have lockdown. There is a chance we'll Impulse just for land. Not my favorite play, but you know. Alright, so... I think I will go with a lockdown. If that's mono black discard, we don't need 2 mana. I guess we need 1 for the Bandit's talent, but I will have to fight it, you know? We'll try to go Mindsplice Apparatus, refill with Silver Scrutiny and go from there. Hopefully it's not Bandit talent on turn 2. Ruthless Negotiation. Alright, that means a sweeper. Our opponent is butchering our hand, but he's also butchering his hand. I'm not sure what card I need right now. I think we go with Fountainport. Alright, so now we kinda know. So I need to Impulse for a land, then play Apparatus and hope I can cast one of those. Our opponent literally has everything. Oh man, you know what? No, I cannot I have to cast this. But if I miss a land... Alright. Alright, this is important. I need a land for the next turn. Alright. This is the best card for the matchup by the way, but we cannot discard it. And that's the problem. If he has another discard effect, I will be forced to choose one of them, and I already got rid of triple Silver Scrutiny in, you know, my top 10 cards, so that means I have very low extra value. Even with Impulses, I probably won't find another one. One is at the bottom, right? Yep, one at the bottom. So we have a really tough order here. I need him to do anything but discard for a single card, for a single turn. Because I need all of those cards. I guess I can discard Impulse. Of course, our opponent just never fizzing. Man, this is incredible how absolutely insane their draw is. It has to be Impulse.
You won't be outsmarting me.
And that's the only choice. We don't have more. We need to draw so many. Like, our opponent's draw is absolutely insane. Against what we have. Lockdown. We don't care about the lockdown. However... Oh man, this is only 3 cards. This is not great. So they will plus with Liliana, and then they will flashback one of those. There's not much we can do about it. I can play a land. You know what? On the next turn I'm drawing extra card, but this will be 6 already. Man, this is such a problem. I should have enough mana. Man, if not any of those steps, like if they missed any part of the curve, I think we would be in a very comfortable position, probably winning the game. Oh, that's interesting. A very interesting one. We don't know if they have discard, so if they have a discard here, they can get rid of a whole hand, and I cannot do anything about it. So let's take this, we go for a plains, just to have some basics of all the types. We have 5, we could scrutiny for 4, but of course it doesn't have flash then. They know Liliana is not... Alright, that's okay. So they like their last card and they want to discard one of the other ones before they go for Liliana. Bandit's talent is scary, but not scary enough to keep this for a 1-for-1. Yep. And I mean, this is no difference. So do we go for extra card? I guess it's kinda important, right? Especially... we don't care about the damage. Oh my god, those draws are so bad. Yeah, I need to go with it. 2, 4. Alright. So I will discard Sunfall. It's kinda cool that we can cast 3 steps ahead with the discount, but it's still very problematic. I need to hit Soul Partition or get lost. Well. Is that White Sun's Twilight? Liliana will ultimate, right? Yeah, I think we have to go for it. Imagine how easier the game would be if we didn't miss all of this. Like, I needed 1 extra mana to counter it and get 2 cards for free. Or, you know, at least counter it. Unfortunately, we have to go like this. 2 extremely bad cards. Great. Well, I think that the game is so stacked against us that I'm not sure if we can deal with it, man. Like, honestly, this is so stacked against us. From start to finish. Let's draw a card. I tell you, man. Like, there's absolutely nothing. So we have to force them to ultimate. So it's 4 plus 3. And that's the best we can do, right? We cannot prevent the ultimate from Liliana. We have a land from here, so we could be casting spells on 1 land even. And they still need to solve the might, so I think this is the best play. Man, if we win this, we can win literally every game. This guy is not fizzling since basically like 7 turns. Alright, I have to go with this, otherwise I need to discard everything. Yep. I also got rid of 3 Silver Scrutinies, and this is the best. Well, this is a very weird decision. Really? So what is the last card? It has to be something special, right? Okay, that's a very weird play. So they gave up on Liliana. I cannot play those. Alright, so our game plan... Oh, right, but they will force it anyway, right? But if they do, they cannot level up. And I mean, we need to basically win with this board. This card decks very often don't have enough sweepers, but let's see it. Maybe our opponent just has a perfect draw in every literal regard. Oh man, like we should be winning this so hard. He also drew 6 extra cards this game. Alright. Is the game plan really that he will actually try to trade card for card against all of this? This is not a winning gameplay. Great. Shuffler, what's wrong with you today? Oh my god, like every game is like this. Alright, let's go. We will get some value. So I cannot... So the problem is that he will draw a card. I think we could go with 1 archive. I have enough life, so I just need to not draw a bad card on the next turn. And you know that the bad card is just lurking there, waiting for his chance. He needs to find 4 removal spells. Or just a single Shelly. Alright. The last card is playable, so that's extremely good for him. On 4 man, this is insane. Alright, I need to draw something. Thank you. Finally. Oh my god, 1 good draw, and as you can see, 1 good draw is all you need to win the game. I cannot believe he got every single thing in his direction and he still lost in the end. To be honest, I needed this get lost, because if that was another land, I wouldn't have enough power to get him to 10 poison. Alright guys, I want to talk about this deck so much. There's so much to talk about it with, you know, Mindsplice Apparatus, colors and the cards in this deck. But first, before we do it, of course, thank you Patreons for making content like this possible so we can, enjoy control in this absolutely aggro-infested standard. So thank you for your support. And I actually had the discussion on Patreon about, the Mindsplice Apparatus, which is better, Azorius or Dimir. And I actually wasn't sure up to now, but after playing with this deck, I think it's Azorius. The only upside Dimir has is Outrageous Robber, and the card is insane with Mindsplice Apparatus decks. Just because it is a win-con like Jace, that also, doubles as a card draw, and it can be cast at instant speed. Casting Silver Scrutiny at Sorcerer is always a little bit of issue, and one big difference is that Silver Scrutiny, when you cast it during your turn, your opponent knows that you are tapped. They know that they are losing the value game and they go absolutely all in on this one turn you give them. If that is an instant, they think, well, he's just keeping counter spells. I'll be smart. I won't cast anything into them and just pass the turn. Then you cast your robbery, get 8-9 cards, and your opponent is like, oh, I wish I had some, spells on this turn. So that's the difference. However, the addition of things like Season of the Burrow, Union of the Third Path, also Get Lost and Soul Partition, because they're super versatile and sometimes you really need this versatility. But Season is great at answering, everything that is super annoying but not very easy to target, like, Synthesizer. We didn't really go for this play, but only because I knew that I am in such comfortable spot that I don't need to do it. But there will be spots where you cannot beat the Synthesizer because, for example, you don't draw all of your counter spells, and then you need to break their value engine. And this card is great at it, and they get the card, but the card will probably be a land or a spider or something, so it's completely different power level. And I have to say, the White Sun's Twilight, while still very slow for a sweeper, that's why we play different ones, is a really nice way to fully reverse the tempo. So basically what I really like about the card, if you cast it, you force your opponent's build to have a sweeper. If they don't, they lose. And that's something beautiful because there are so little control decks and so many, aggro mid-range decks that nearly nobody plays sweepers in their decks. And that basically forces them, well, if you don't play a sweeper, you concede. And that's a really cool, way to reverse everything, especially that we are life gaining and sweeping the board. So you have seen how much we bait into the board, because we know the board without haste does not matter. You just kill everything and reverse the whole game plan, and suddenly they are the ones defending. So even though I'm always a little bit hesitant on this card, and that's why I still play Sunfalls, I still play Lockdowns and Union of the Third Path for all the other, functions of this Twilight, I think it's a great addition, especially as a win-con. And we don't have Jace, so we need to be smart about it. You could say, well, it might be a problem if you meet control. I mean, meeting control on the ladder, are you serious? And by the way, guys, I usually don't talk about it, but the stats in current standard are crazy. Mono red is around 26% of the whole meta. Depends which leagues, right? But on average, it's around 1/4 of all the decks played in standard, while Azorius control is around 4%, and this card is 3%. So if you are seeing, well, a lot of control in this card decks, you are not seeing the real meta. And the higher you go, the higher amount of mono reds that you will see. So that's why we still need to play Unions, Lockdowns, Soul Partitions, Get Lost, just to keep, being alive, basically, before we drop the Mindsplice Apparatus. And honestly, when you drop this on turn 4, the whole game is just so different. Especially casting Unions for 1 mana is just my favorite moment of the game, because they realize they are never killing you, and suddenly the whole game plan just is, oh no, I'll leave the game. And one last thing that I really wanted to talk about, because this is thanks to your comments, guys. One of you mentioned that there's this discussion of Augury that puts extra counter on the Mindsplice Apparatus versus Impulse that gets 1 extra card. And I think that in games today we really showcase why Impulse is just simply better, and that's kinda in my line as well, because I always avoided Augury. I basically only played in poison decks and now in post-rotation apparatus. But after playing with Impulse, this card is great. I love it. Man, you always get the card you want, except when you hit 4 lands or 4 non-lands. That happens. But difference between 3 and 4 cards is actually extremely meaningful. And this card is great in Mindsplice Apparatus decks just because after you cast it on the end step, you instantly go land, impulse, and the rest of the mana can be used on Sunfall. So you go 4, this is the 5th mana, and then you go for the Sunfall, which you can cast for 4 mana, and then you probably won the game because your opponent, if he doesn't have hasters, that means he's rebuilding the board, you untap, you have second counter on Apparatus, and oh boy, you are having the best time of your life with 1 mana removal, 1 mana counter spells, and just copying Apparatus to oblivion with 3 steps ahead. So the deck is absolutely fun, and after comparing Dimir and Azorius, I think that Azorius is just a more streamlined version. Maybe not as epic with the robberies, so I still enjoy Dimir a bit more, but this just feels way more consistent, and Unions together with Twilights and Season of Burrow really gives you this versatility. So the outro is long, but it's a control deck, it's Mindsplice Apparatus deck, and I mean, what could we talk in Magic if not this kind of deck? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, you're absolutely awesome, and I hope you are so excited for the deck as I was. So enjoy and see you guys tomorrow.
With